Jennifer's name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's about the same as last year.
What did I with they last year? Okay,
Did
thank
it
you.
say- Did it say in the email?
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
I was not able to today.
That was fine.
Good,
Yes.
Last year.
alright,
Everything's still being
okay, welcome back. Round three, I believe. And so, really we can start on either side. We have lots of things, in the notes and proposals and all the fun going on, so, who would like to start?
Just want to finish with what we had, where we were.
That's fine. Well, I guess first of all, do you have any information for insurance? Cause that seems like that's gonna be a timely,
There's no increase for this year.
there's what,
No increase. Flat rate.
the same?
I think they are changing the dental and vision to be more one that's in network in town. But other than that, there's no increase.
And when did you get that information?
We've been going back and forth with the board and what to decide, so it's more, there was an increase, but it's being handled with the self-funded plan.
Do you think there'll ever be a decrease?
I don't know, this is an investment like we talked about last year, so I don't know, I think it's, even to do a flat rate is a really big thing right now. Other districts were having the 30 and double even some of them, so I feel like a flat rate for this would be the third year at the same rate. It seems to be a good, at least starter.
And when does enrollment start for that again?
So as he was just waiting, as soon as we guys discussed it, that, obviously I don't think there's gonna be employer contribution change if there's no increase, but that's, to be negotiated. And then as soon as we tell him that, then he can start his packet and start coming to the buildings.
So is there a deadline that enrollment needs to take place by?
I told him we were discussing it today, and as soon as I tell him go, he's gonna go.
Cause I think in the past it was like October 1st or something.
Well, that's when the effective date's always October 1st. Yes.
That was the one complaint that I heard was the dental and vision was out of network.
Yeah.
So do you know for sure that it is?
It's the same one the county uses.
Is it, you don't know what company it is?
No.
Cause it was the same price as Delta
I think
Dental
it's
when we had it.
Surancy, I believe, the same that we've used in the past, if I remember correctly, but yes.
I don't think so.
Okay, we just knew that there's usually a time frame with that, so we wanna make sure that we discuss that today, so otherwise we can start learning more.
Yeah, we'll just go, here's the one that we were at, okay. The employer match program was still on the table.
Yeah, I think that we're fine with signing up on that. I think all of it's expired at this point, so.
Sign that one. Next.
Do you want to sign that now, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start.
Yeah, get it signed.
I just have one. I will make you a copy. Does that work? We sign this one?
Yep, I'll make it back. Yes.
I need to start. And we got it there.
For the next step.
Two.
I didn't have my folder, I got mad. Okay. Mm-hmm.
school and like I'm monitoring you guys in class or something.
See if we know how to spell it.
Yes.
There's two.
It's just the whole.
Okay,
That whole
that's
section.
yours. Make out of it.
Copy for you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That was that.
Alright. So we'll pass this one.
What do you need?
Can you pass this one?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's 2 pages, take it.
Last time we ended with the hours and days of employment, and we went ahead and added, and I believe Darcy emailed it, added in a line under the scheduled in-service days. Virtual professional development days are intended for professional employees to complete required annual training. If a professional employee has already completed the required training, they are not required to report on site.
I know that last time we talked about, or you had mentioned that you were gonna change the date of those videos to be done. I think you had first said either the 1st or the 19th.
I think it was originally the
It's originally the
first, and
first,
then
and
we
so
were
if this
saying
is
it would be
approved,
due
we'll go
the
to the
19th.
Okay, so one suggestion that we had or we wanted to discuss was, would it be possible instead of having 2 half days, just have 1 full day of virtual in-service and making it the 19th, since that's the day that their videos are due? We felt like that would be more in line with being able to say that they had to have something done by the end of that day. If you say that we have to have something done by the end of the first half day in service, but yet they don't have to have it turned in until the 19th, it kind of is a little gray area. So we felt like maybe if it was a full day of virtual in-service on the 19th rather than 2 half days, just might be a little bit more clear.
Yes, we'll caucus on that real quick. Chad, can we ask you something? Did he leave me? Man,
We'll find it.
thank you. Yeah, we'll just go over that real quick.
I'll find Chad for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think they have to change.
Hey Daphne.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, about the dental stuff. We actually, I don't know if you did, so we go here in town to Phipps. At first, they said they did not take that, like, Chris was like, I've never heard of that, so me neither, but then we went for a cleaning anyway, so I was like, I need my teeth cleaned.
Yeah.
So went ahead, went and had a process, it goes through, and it was all paid for. So, I think you just have to try it and see, and we used Matthew, like, called him and was like, hey, because I actually had a problem with mine first too, we didn't, mine, Kelly's went through, then mine didn't, I was like, we're on the same dang plan. Well, they had my birth date wrong in there in the system, so that's why I was declining everything on my end, for me. But they got that fixed too, and he's been good to call, like anytime we've had questions, like just some other things we've had done, like Kelly had some things done and they were trying to say they weren't gonna pay for it, and we just called him, and it's been very helpful.
Okay.
So if you've had, I don't know if you have dentists here in town or not, but you might try, I know if you do go to Phipps, that does go through there.
Okay.
So that, I don't know about the other, they go somewhere else and
We
said-
go to Erickson
Yeah.
and Gill and it's not.
she said it wasn't going through. So I tried.
Mine didn't go through at Phipps, and I
Mine-
tried what you did as well,
Uh-huh.
and
My
they
crown
said
didn't
no.
go through.
Well, it was just a cleaning.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't call, I
Yeah.
was just cleaning, I didn't have anything else done, just cleaning. So, why they declined that?
I don't know, my crown broke before I wrote, and I had to get it
Yeah.
fixed. It was like.
What was the reasoning?
I think
Did
it
he
was.
give one?
Mm-mm. But I talked to Matthew like 5 times, and
Mhm.
he kept promising me he would get it done,
Mm-hmm.
and they finally sent me this letter that says they
They
won't
won't
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, so.
I wonder, I can't remember, are there different levels on the dental?
I don't know.
I can't remember now
I don't
what
think
we
so.
signed up for. Because on every other dental plan, there's been like, you know, dental, whether we have Blue Cross and Blue Shield dental, or if you've had Delta dental, you've had to, you know, pick your tier, yeah. Whether it was just, so whether it had orthodontia on it, whether it didn't, this and that, I can't remember this time. Because I know we just picked the basics since we were done with everyone's first. So, okay, but yeah, we might check.
Could you send me that information?
Yeah, I think Kelly has it, or their caucuses, when they go ask him real quick.
I have it.
Okay, now you have it. Do you have it, Tammy?
Let me look.
Okay.
Cause as
Thank
many
you.
times as I talked to him this
So
summer.
it's, use him, cause that's what his job is.
As many times as I used him this summer.
Yeah. Well, cause when I started, I got a bill like from the dermatology clinic, I was like, why isn't that going through? Well then, and then when I went to go get the cream that she prescribed, it wasn't going through the pharmacy, I was like, I have insurance, I was like, and that's when they put me older, not younger. And I was like, I know, if they would've made me younger, I would've left it, I was like, no. But finally, the pharmacy figured it out, what was wrong. He's like, well, it says 1971. I was like, no. Not correct.
You're welcome.
I have it. I'll
If
watch
you
the
just wanna
video,
forward
but I
me an
haven't
email
taken
or-
it.
Okay, sure.
That would work, yeah, totally fine.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I just, I got the report.
I'll
maybe
send
because
it
I
out.
had
Perfect.
this coordinator webinar. And I was like, well, no, not one.
Usually I
Why not?
do.
And,
It's different, is it?
It's really fun when you're talking to people, just
Right.
Yeah.
Seems like,
And that's what, but there it is, okay.
I know, yeah, I just.
Call them or email.
Yeah, actually, it's this one. Oh, sorry, she did, because I was gonna find out how to take this. And then a piece of her notification came back. Yeah, after I started. Yeah.
Yeah, how they gonna judge it, didn't have.
Oh, okay.
And that's what.
Yeah, some people are like, some people are like,
Or like, because really it's the, hygienist, you know, that doesn't store for me. But. I wonder, Jamie, if it's because it's existing. I just want to think about it. Something like that, because I don't want to have the crown.
Like, I didn't know where these stages so. There it is. You think I'm joking?
I don't think you're joking.
60, that's so funny.
I would have just cried.
I think so.
It was great.
I've been like, take one.
Yeah, I'm like,
From the front.
Because it's like, was. Here's another.
Oh, you
Yeah. Find a real jacket.
Does that
have anything to do with how we found?
No, it does not.
Here's one. Here's this. I'm with you too. Here's another backpack. Where's the zipper on the backpack? He's really good.
Oh my God. So.
Well, they would have to use
And so it just.
Was that your
According to the bus fare, it's really slow.
So we need to start a little earlier because of the
She left, is it?
So the thing is, if they don't like it, they have these lunches. And my day's supposed to start at 9. So they let us start at 9:30. So then it's like, which isn't the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's.
But it just kind of sets everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's going to the lake this weekend.
It's like rain.
Just keep on calling for some pictures. We'll see how Susan likes that Thursday when she goes over to cover.
Take your ball, Joe.
That's great. He did well.
Was he somewhere else tonight?
That's great. Fantastic
Like,
update.
I had a friend that was at Eli, yeah, it's like, well, she had snapped me the night.
I'm coming over Thursday.
Somewhere, I should have like lunch.
So I'm gonna take that day especially.
I was like, you can't start it, like, why are we not met? She has to like.
She's, I had time for her, I had a shadow Kelly, this to do that, like,
Yeah, it's like body wings.
yeah, I didn't like covering that. So hot. And then I got her
Shop everybody.
to inclusion time channel. And then she's just jumped in, like I said, you're not in charge of the station, I want you to watch, I want you to learn, I want you to see what's working. And I told her today, I'm probably gonna have my station, because I don't know my station yet. Said, because I like to spend the first couple weeks watching and observing that everything's going the way it's supposed to be and helping. And I just think,
I did not.
I don't think they did tell us they're
Run.
yes.
Okay.
True.
I mean, I'm not saying that it was like, it was new.
But I don't think they actually took anything. I think they just took it. Which is great.
Sure.
But I had to bring the vacation kids to the beach and then I said, you're safe. And he looked at me like, that happened with them.
I'm sure it was pretty funny, I laughed.
But I only had to assist the one to get there, so.
So the adventure.
She finally said, no, she had it.
She's 2.
My Uber dropped me off there.
Like an actual Uber? I was trying to figure out how that was like, you said that if that meant Uber, or, because this weekend. My son in the band is sick, and this is his first game for us, and so.
He does that often.
Somebody has learned this It's a stadium and it's right at. And I watched quite one trip.
Like during the summer,
She
I
said,
get that kids.
Yeah, so I was like, so I had to re-download it, but I haven't traveled. Yeah.
All right, see you later.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take that test.
Okay, good luck. Okay.
That was it's like, don't you look at your phone? She's like,
Yeah.
And
she was smiling. pilot's training, sorry. And I emailed her the next day, and said, I think she told me, I said, well, I hope you need it, and blah, blah, blah. And so like, Friday, she still hadn't answered, and said, do you read your email? I don't know how to get in there. How to get in there. Did, she answered me out over the weekend, so someone told her how. She wasn't even listening. Mrs. Smith. Yeah.
Dylan is at Michigan. And they have 3 kids. So they're in that class. They're like, Scott's just touching and coaching.
Sorry, we had computer problems,
Why?
retype more than we wanted to. Her computer didn't save anything from the last one, so we had to retype
no.
and then go in and make sure that we did it exactly the same. So sorry, it took a lot longer than intended.
Darcy, hold on.
Yes, I believe. I got them all. Keep one of these for yourself?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I don't know why I handed them to you. I'm so sorry.
Because of my youth.
Okay, we just wanted to check with Chad and make sure that there was no problem, any of that. So we did, we took out the afternoons, took out December 19th, changed the scheduled in-service days to 9 on-site, 1 virtual. And then we updated the calendar to show, oh wait. Yep. We updated the calendar to show December 19th as a virtual PD day. And October 10th, on our last draft of it, we had it as a half and half, and we changed that back.
That looks good. Thank you.
Thank you. Sign that one. Do you have another one? Wherever you want to, sign on the back. This one, okay.
Virtual.
No sparkle today.
Now you're here.
I was here before Bob called.
Here you go. Welcome.
Oh, we're two conserving papers.
Yeah, big time. Darcy's watching me, so. Do what?
Have one for Darcy.
Oh, yes, I did. Sorry. Oh, my son. Yes.
Left for us to respond to, we have parental leave and sub pay. And while we do feel that those are important, we just, this year with the amount of money that we've received from the state, we would feel more comfortable putting all that we can towards the scale. So we'd like to hold off on these until we are talking money. Which I know that there's frustration on both sides of how many times we've actually been able to meet this year. So with that, if you would like, we're willing to move directly towards that discussion now if you're prepared, or we can move on to if you'd like to respond to some callers. It's whatever you guys feel comfortable with.
Either one is fine. Where you guys want to do you have a proposal for salaries?
We were, wait. Okay. No. Do you have a proposal? I know I was new last year, but I understood normally you guys might have something for a jumping off point.
Yeah, we have a proposal.
Okay.
So. These are the same, so let's try this one.
Your people name?
Yep. we can just pass these. So today, the salary schedule you have in front of you is a 4% increase. Again, we did a survey talking to our bargaining unit in the spring, asking again for guidance as far as a percentage increase or a flat rate. Overwhelmingly, again, more people are wanting a percentage. Looking at some of the other districts that have already settled, the two districts closest to our base and closest to us was Clearwater and Renwick. Clearwater received a 5% increase this year and Renwick got a 3.5%, so we felt like it was fair to go somewhere in the middle there. Again, we felt like this isn't shooting for the moon, we're trying to be reasonable, we want to find a way to wrap this up. We know everybody is anxious for this to be over, so that's our offer.
Okay. Office report. Okay. Yes.
Robin, do you need candy before you go?
Well, you know, if there's something there.
I can make it happen.
Hi, how are you? Get started off all right?
Yeah, so it was kind of a mixed bag, but really honestly, the fun was overwhelmingly.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. People don't always get feedback, and so, but we had 120 responses on the first day, stuff.
Okay.
And there were only a couple of people that were very close friends, everybody else was very positive. So that felt good.
Yeah, sure. After all that, that's what I
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's still some frustration and some unknowingness about some of the elementary curriculum that's new, just because we hope to have training that people needed more days than we could give them during that week. So we had to move it to the end of September. So, but we talked about maybe it's a happy accident, because they get to like look through it and try some things and do some things, and then actually be able to ask some, thoughtful questions, because they've actually walked through it a little bit instead of just opening it for the first time together. So.
Running and I feel like I haven't even had time to take a breath.
Very similar. Yeah, last week was long. Yeah. Like, whose idea was it that 5 days straight of kids?
And I don't know how it's changed, but I like the 4 days to get started, because then we kind of ease into it.
There's still a lot. There's still a lot. And then, like, I get once to see his face. Friday night, I'm like, it's still light outside, but I have to go to bed. I was off.
I know that feeling. Yes.
He wasn't.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's on.
And I don't know, he did, I never saw him over it. So when he was You still just like call me. It was like, oh my God, I have my like.
Did you not find anything?
So.
Kids say,
That's exactly what happened. And then I was like, change my point.
We talked, and we like that idea.
Okay.
Just who all needs to go and that whole group, he told me that, and I didn't realize it, and it's really neat, but there were a couple of people that weren't necessarily intended to be in your group that were in the group. Because I let them choose, and they chose it, which is cool. But that's not where my mind had them going. And so he's like, was that supposed to happen? And I thought, well, that wasn't what I intended, but yeah, I did say that they could pick, so that's fine.
Kayla, where's that?
But,
Kayla said, I'll call them and tell them to go get different dresses.
yeah, so it's, who,
I don't know.
I think there needs to be, personally, I think, based on, some of the stuff that you shared, there needs to be at least a school rep that goes for each one of those things, so that we know what does that look like at each one of the buildings, and then overall,
I think red might be a little bold.
I'm not red.
6-12.
Sorry, Tim.
What did you not like about this other one?
Let me see.
Hang on.
I know they have one of those spaces available because they're at like days and different locations.
The boys are,
If
the boys are in
they
Oh,
like their
okay.
champagne reservations and their
Yes,
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 that's
you could do that, you could do that.
So I can
I like this one.
I recently got an email about this.
Let me go put it on the board downstairs, because I go through that with, we don't go into it one time, but the strategists and I are meeting on Tuesday morning, and we're kind of going through just all the things. So let me go put it on the board downstairs, so I don't forget to go through.
I know, it's been fun now lately.
Don't worry about it.
So,
Sounds pretty,
I like that one
too.
too.
Yeah, I like my. And
See, look how
yeah,
cute
this
that
is the
is.
first year that my classes
Both
have
of
been
them.
in order.
It's
Really
really
good. Spanish one, Spanish one, Spanish one, Spanish two, Spanish three, Spanish three.
It's really
The perfect schedule.
I
Love
I
it.
would love that.
Because I just like,
But
I
it's
get all my
probably
Spanish ones done, and then I'm, all right,
Yes,
let's move to
that's
Spanish
gonna
two.
go really well with the,
Mine is just
with the,
Yeah,
I mean,
I never realized
well,
that
with
would be something
the light,
that is
how it
like
hits
my
on it,
ultimate
is what I'm
dream,
saying.
but it is.
It's not like, is that really sequins?
oh, I was,
Like, I know,
it's
I
not
didn't realize mine had
crazy.
sequins. No, but
It
it's
is
so
so
bright.
bright.
No, it's not
Yeah.
sequins like that,
Because
but
sometimes kids are
That's
coming and they're
pretty.
like, hey, Miss
And
Emma, what
then-
are we doing this?
My sister
today?"
did,
And I'm
ended
like,
up going to the red one.
remember, like,
I
I haven't taught it for 4 hours, let me check my lessons.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. So.
So I like all this. I like it also. Got good kids.
Can you get it a different color? I would, what's the,
Probably because they have to.
that is fantastic.
why don't you,
Maybe
I still think.
You're like, maybe it's still there, but just not my room.
Right.
That'd be my other
I
choice.
don't know if Irene.
Can we Google, is it this
So
person?
much.
What's your,
Sure,
you
it just says
didn't know the name of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, National Amazon.
They do,
girl.
Try
them and
where'd
send them
you-
back.
I know,
Where's
that's
exactly
where's
that
that
at?
Dillard's.
Yeah.
That was just a Dillard's.
I never thought about it.
That's my sister's. That's how much you got.
I like this one
Just-
too.
I didn't incorporate all those things
Tracy
to
and I took
show
a red
them.
one from Amazon, I think.
Very neat.
David Bridle, I think, is
Yeah,
on both of them.
I didn't go to any of those places.
Well, I got online, I found those things, and
Oh, you did?
I ordered them online, and then they send you to your house, and you have like
It's
so many days
just-
to try them on and send them
But
back.
I figure it's
Okay,
just the
first
first
few
few
days.
days.
And then I
know,
started
then
buying
it's
like these
easy.
dresses.
Mother
That's
of the
what printers
printers
this
semester,
Your
I
mom.
think will have huge.
Your mom.
Mom.
That would be really
Okay,
good.
so,
Yeah.
and I tried this one on.
I've been in all of the Panther team now.
Yes.
And it's much
Yeah, but you
prettier
can do this.
on, it's got a little
Would be
bit of
really
a
pretty,
navy
yes, yes.
dark, so it
Yes.
breaks up a little bit. This one size that had was a 12. I couldn't really get a good feel for what it was
Yeah.
gonna look like.
Did you,
But,
can you look
yeah.
online?
Is this, did you try on the Lexi?
If I were writing a standard, that's
When
what
we're
Lexi has, and then
Look, we can get them in all these colors.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, wasn't there, different?
Yeah,
cause
I thought
the-
it went well.
the
I
neck
don't
line's a
think
little
there was
bit different.
anything really missing
It was
from
we look,
Seascape.
Look at
Think
these
about
fun
colors.
colors.
We could
Think
keep
about your
it
color
in
palette though,
house.
you wanna just do.
Like, feel like you did navy blue, navy blue, let's do like light.
Oh, is it this one?
And I don't know if they just went over.
And so Travis is wearing all black as tux, and the boys are wearing tan with what?
Tan with what? Will be an eggplant.
Yeah.
I think so the guys wearing that.
I think it was like nice on you, but I know it's.
Thank you.
You can totally do it. It's beautiful color.
It's not purple, it's eggplant,
and
that's totally different.
Oh, the beginning of
I
the.
was struggling,
Oh, yeah.
and the guys were wearing tan like black, and the girls wore sage green. I was like, okay, whatever.
No, did you see the I did, got a new car because I didn't use it.
See, that's what I don't know.
I
don't
don't
want a car payment.
He wants, I
I don't
was
care
on
the
third row
yeah,
seat.
I'm like.
So he said, you extra for Palisade, I said, what?
I don't want to.
If I want a third row seat.
Not to be here. Okay, yeah, go on a trip.
Sit down there.
You're all like, how to go.
Well, did you see?
Well, because that's what I was, I was gonna go with navy with black. It's trendy.
In our last meeting, we discussed with the board, and the board is adamant that this year we put money on the base after 2 years of percentage. Just think that it's time that we continue to focus on that base number. And so I don't think that we're gonna get anything passed on the board side as a percentage. That said, we have a proposal for $1,000 on the base. This was somewhat of a stretch for us, given lower numbers, enrollment numbers decreasing and a lower, we're getting less than half of what we got last year as an increase from the state. But through cuts, we're able to get a little bit more.
So what is the number that you're working with?
$433,000.
That's new money.
433,662.
And I know that there's been discussion on the amount of money that we have at-risk funds. Are we utilizing all of the at-risk funds to pay for those teachers that would qualify for their?
We've sent out, the state put out a calculator this summer to help push some of that to at-risk.
So how many teachers roughly are getting paid with at-risk funds?
It depends on the, right now, not as much, that's why we're trying to send the calculator right now. Because if you're in your small groups, you may be able to pull some of that and put some of their, when they're working with at-risk kids. So they may be charged out 100% to general fund, but we may be able to possibly take some of that salary and push it to at-risk.
When would that be decided? When would you know that?
They're just starting it now, and they should be working with their BLTs, is that the right term, or?
The principal's working with the teacher to look through the schedule, because if they go, the calculator has, and it's online, everybody can look at it, it just has a space on there for, what is the teacher teaching and what portion of their day is it, and it calculates you can pay X amount of salary out of that, and it's by principal, by teacher, going through that. So I know some of the elementary buildings, I only know because my wife got it, they send a Google Sheet to have them look through their day to see if are they teaching these programs and which portion of their day in how many times throughout the week and all that kind of stuff.
So currently though, are there teachers that are already without using the calculator? Are there
There's
teachers?
that, I know your counselors automatically qualify, I'm trying to think of what's,
Social work,
social worker,
the strategists are out of there.
strategist, yes.
But none of your interventionists?
If they're,
It depends
Like-
what an interventionist or title, if they're title, then it gets paid out title.
so the 3 interventionists at the middle school would be all eligible for at-risk, but the title teachers at the elementary schools, first, one of you was a interventionist at a non-title building, now the building's title, so that's out of title funds.
And every building's title, correct?
Every elementary.
Elementary.
But not the middle school and high school?
Not the middle school, high school.
And why is that, if all of the elementaries are funneling into those 2 buildings?
So the pot of money for title is the pot of money. It doesn't get any bigger. If we identify more schools, it allows us to target early intervention. That's the thought. Like a lot of places are K-5 or K-8. There's not a lot of districts in our little cohort group that does all the way K-12 because they want to target that money for early intervention.
What does this $1,000, what's the cost of that?
I think that includes your classes. We would be spending over what we're receiving, 358,000 over. We'd have to come up with 358,000 out of other funds.
The last information I had, there were still I think 7 people that were not on the salary schedule because you were waiting on transcripts for them.
We have 7 long-term subs / positions that we're holding in this now.
Explain that again, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we have 3 SLPs on it that are supposed to be here, but we're holding them in the middle of the scale because our goal is to have certified SLPs. So, and then we have, I know there's one at the middle school, the long-term subs right now we're paying them as sub-pay, but our goal is to have them as certified staff, so we wanna hold them a position.
Okay, I think what I was referring to, and maybe I looked at your information incorrectly. I thought there were either new hires or people that were moving, that when you sent me where they were on the pay scale, it just
Okay.
said, they weren't placed anywhere. It said like needing transcripts or something like that next to their name.
So we put them in where they say they are on when we do our thing where they say they are, and then, but that may change until we get their transcripts.
So I didn't see, I mean, it didn't have them placed anywhere. So when I'm trying to figure out what a cost is, I'm not seeing those people, so it's kind of hard for me to get a correct number. So I don't know if there's a way for me to get that information.
Yep, I'll have to request it, we'll get it to you.
And then based on that information that I did have, I show one person that's on the first step. Is that correct? Step one.
I'll have to go on my computer and get it, my computer's not acting up, it's not cooperating with me today, or ever it seems like, I'll have to look.
Okay.
Cause I know we do have a few that right now, they have, licensure in progress, that they will probably be like a half year, so they'll be, either they're in process right now, or we know that at the end of the semester, they will be rolled over to being on scale.
So they'll have their transcripts and everything in by the December 1st date.
And then it also depends on when their actual license comes in, because then we calculate off the date the license, so sometimes it backdates, am I right, Chad? To where they do it.
They applied.
Yes, so we, they may be paid as a sub, but then it backdates, so then we pay them back whatever date their license comes in at.
So yeah, if you are able to locate, is based again on that information I had, there are 73 professional employees that are at the master's or above column, and 47 that are at the bachelor's to master's. So it's very heavy on the side of the master's and up. And that's why you're talking about, you don't think that your board's gonna do anything different, and I'm feeling the same way on our side. The percentage of people that are on that lower end is pretty phenomenal. I mean, it's quite a bit more. And again, that's why we did the survey to begin with, so we kind of knew going in where we would, how people would vote. So, I don't know. Any other questions for the office?
When you look at the $1,000, do you know what percentage that is on each?
I have the percentage, the increase overall with steps and columns is what is on that right there below.
Okay.
So I'm looking at
Uh-huh.
I noticed that the percentages are, if I'm reading this right, are getting actually bigger as you go down.
Yes, if you look at your scale without the steps and columns piece, so over here, I think, and I don't have it with me, it's like $1,000 some over here, plus if they every year go down.
Right.
So it's increasing, cause over here, there's not as
I
much.
thought it would get a smaller percent, I thought it would be a smaller increase percentage wise.
Every step is, and I don't have it with me, I have to pull it up, and I can show you that scale. Cause if you look at how much it goes up for each, the further you go over and down, it goes down further up with more money with each step.
Give me a press on that.
What do you need to show me? 'Cause I didn't catch it.
Here, I can print something.
I think I have it.
I'm
Oh, you do?
Print it.
I just wanna make sure I understand.
Okay, that's what
Yeah. I have a scale without the base.
Small piece of the
But they're assuming that you moved down a step, but the people that are stuck at the bottom, then their percentage would be much less, yes.
But
it's showing a bigger
percentage.
Well, that's assuming you went from N to O. That you got that step, but if you didn't get that step, that's not your percentage of increase.
Which right now,
Okay.
So it's a little bit deceiving.
it's very
It's
deceiving.
very
I see,
deceiving,
oh,
yes.
that's what, if you go,
That's
Here
what
to
my
here.
figures were saying,
Right,
showing
you go-
different, I can't get it.
okay.
And currently, again, based on that information that I had, the two steps that have the most people are the masters. The last step in the masters column had 18, and the last step in the masters 36 had 16. So both of those steps would be frozen. I mean, they're not getting the percentage that's shown here, because that's assuming that they are moving down, and they're not moving down.
Okay, if you move down.
Yeah.
This
That's when
year,
you get that.
you would get that much of, okay, but if you're already there. Okay, okay, thank you.
Current.
Mhm.
This year,
While she's getting that. I feel like it's just wasted time waiting on her computer.
Her desktop should be.
I think he gets it.
Oh, is it desktop?
I think.
Yeah, that's the one that's
She's
missing.
taking forever.
We talked, I think I understand what
Okay,
it's
I'll
showing now, I just, I was thinking one way, but it's something else.
What was your price estimate on this? $700,000.
The estimate I had, and again, that's based off of not having everybody's information, was that a $270,405 increase to what the current cost was. For a 4%. It was a little over half of what the new money was. So that's why my figures I don't know, because I don't have all the information. I don't have all those people and where they're at on the scale.
it's okay, I was just trying to get it in my head.
Yeah.
Huh?
But this, okay,
We're leaving.
Yeah, you're welcome. Those are my favorites.
What did you get, water or caramel?
Oh my gosh, it's, yeah, it's bad.
I go help them, but I can't find anything that awesome anyway.
I left my water in.
That's called rough light.
Yep.
Way light. Probably.
When did you guys start?
I told her that you'd give her one of those.
Sorry. You're good.
Did you? Or is that for that?
No, that's enough.
Do you need one? Do you wanna do?
I mean, that's as of last Thursday, because it's still moving. I went ahead, so I put my scale out. Even though the scale doesn't go, those each get $200 every, did you write that down? Yeah.
The ones that are frozen.
It's just like, I don't even. free.
Thank you.
You want me to take a 10 minute or you guys want to talk about this?
That's, you can give it to us.
No, I told her that we printed off.
You want copies?
I don't think it's on the calendar, but I hope.
No. I'm just gonna see if my kids want
I updated that scale as, but like, I don't think it's helpful. He said it's you. As of last Tuesday, I
Didn't get anything since I was home. So we have legal family on Colden's phone, so that we but there are things
Is it
that
gonna be
we
on the
can't do.
spreadsheet so we can put a? Yeah, I need to make
That
some.
we can do. Yeah, there isn't. We don't get the double time she did. She did 15.
Oh,
And they're like, you have to.
yeah, yeah.
And so that's been hard.
And we can give our
So
feedback.
like hers doesn't like retention of that. We just have to yes. And so does piano player.
Yeah, she's not on the medicine.
So
She's
with her, because I didn't see it on there, she can share her location for me and I can put it in different locations she's supposed to be at.
Well, we didn't want to like that would be so overwhelming. Okay, yeah, I will, because she was to the kids, students. I know Bristol or something about that up. Whatever. Not these little kids. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want it just to be a. Thank you. Thanks for encouraging it all over. We're with you.
It's after you guys.
So it's.
I'm gonna have to say the word that's right here. But they don't kind of see it's like,
Am I seeing this on Yes, yeah, that's why I told wait, because.
That's what
then they didn't end up doing it. I was the same way.
but it's
Well, that happens. Well, darn it, Steve said he did that really bad,
So they don't want to know she it's considered aggravated to slip. With her name. Felony.
Did she mail? It is a mail. It is a felony. You touch a mail. I have friends in high school that thought they were funny.
if we did
His number, Facebook. It has been, because we have around lunch. She's got good days.
I love it.
That's true.
I love it. I don't know my name yesterday. Anyway, but yeah, he said it was about 10.
Well, I didn't know yesterday.
Oh, he was not. I mean, he went out of it.
And then they didn't get back in. They were going They didn't do, I don't know, they didn't.
Fifth period.
Oh, because we have.
Selfishly, I really like it. Yeah.
You had it, basically, this, we have to change it, but then, I don't know, on Friday, we all just kind of decided like, hey, if there's a they don't want to. And then, like, today's kid, I heard anything, so tell myself, she said she's like, Sunday we're attending, yeah, time to see, well, start training. Like, I like Walter's doing do something. God bless him, this made no sense to me. I kind of started just hitting myself to use this time to prepare for nebulous. Lost his hours, wanted to match last night. He was so darn language through recognition. Then he got the problem going Yes, she dismissed the guy canceled because but that's what we do. That's because they have so many years or they have and just
I'm John, I'm so sorry, so sorry. I think we just go. And I got I started running. And I was like, oh my god. Talk to Darcy like she's my husband. You know. Too much togetherness. Too much togetherness.
Yeah. We're just basically. You're watching. Dreads.
Watch your rerun. Football game.
Right on.
Yeah, I was checking it out before we came in here. It's real good.
I must not get those.
I think she has you blocked.
Probably. Does it say you guys
Story of most of our lives.
Lots of
I brought it to the top, actually. Everybody-
It could be because I've been on it brain and negotiation.
You missed the rest of it.
I went to lose
I,
Oh, that might be Chad.
I think I just officially peeved off the pursuit.
I like it.
Do you wanna respond to all the things? I'll come to first.
Or whoever.
I'm
loving life right now.
Need,
Cool, yeah.
So I called again.
There's a,
So we.
That was a doorstep.
That's even, that is the magic.
Even better.
Okay.
Athletics. You know, where I could
All the little ones don't hold the door very strong and you're getting it yourself. Bigger ones, not like you want to put your name on it.
That's the first thing I did. I was able to.
Don't approach. She said her first days
Yeah,
were good.
probably hasn't been connected, nobody's brought up the concept.
So,
I know, we were born to they hide them.
if that doesn't work, then fill in our first. Keep it all in.
Good for him.
It's fine, so humid.
I just wonder how many people didn't get in.
I would keep that.
Locked up. That's
I emailed him.
If they open the text, yeah.
Did you make the official request to?
No, well, I didn't, I wasn't,
Peggy just left.
I would love it if he
Yeah.
got it, but I actually asked him if he wanted to be on the video as a patron parent.
The outside ones, but.
And she's teaching that.
I'm gonna get a drone shot of my clip that on one of the.
Does she?
There's a good chance
Yeah.
at all times, like he lives up there.
Well,
He's coming out, he'll be fine, get out there, get
We
you.
went out after recess, but I got, stay on the pedals, get on that course.
Yeah.
I wanted to, I was like, he's like, can't wait, natural consequence.
There's something
I'm
going
like,
on in that.
yeah, it's your choice, and guess what, we're not changing for a choice. So I just left him, it wasn't too bad. He feels slow, and I don't recall such right now.
Yeah,
Do you know what's going on at Hill Library?
And.
Potential safety concern reported in Manhattan campus, please avoid the area of Hill Library. Went out.
well, I just checked to see where he was.
There's no Hill.
He's at his girlfriend's.
Okay. And he's safe, no concern.
My baby.
Uh-oh, what happened? So he's safe from whatever's going on at Hill Library.
I need to go home.
She's talking to Jen.
You must say, don't play with her. I hope she's not talking to Kelly.
Hey, I would never talk that nice to you.
Jessica, Buffy's living his best life in my room, he's roaming the range.
I'm so happy.
Who's Buffy? You have a pet?
Buffy the Buffalo, if you would have Facebook, you'd know that.
I know, I'm anti-social media.
Let me show you, cause he's adorable.
When I was like 4, my dad was on like a really long derailment. And when he was coming home from like a week away, he saw like a roadside stuffed animal thing, and he brought me.
I saw that thing in your room, I wondered what it was.
That's my best friend from my childhood.
He's fabulous.
So yeah, so dad bought that for me and got my sister a dog that looked like her dog. And then mom's moving, and she's like, "What do you want me to do with Buffy?" And I was like,
And then they said,
"What do you want me to do with the
that makes
gigantic?"
sense.
So I was like, "I know where Buffy can
Susan took a
roam."
picture of it and sent it to her sister-in-law since she was a grocery graduate.
Like, I don't know, that was one half of it was real soft and fuzzy, it was real thick fur, and then like his bottom, second half and his tail. I mean, it looked real. I probably still have it, my mom probably does.
Well, he has his own desk, and one of the kids tried to sit there, and I was like, no. There's even a sign that says, don't touch. I mean, what are you doing? There's like 7 open desks.
That's when I.
Welcome to middle school. You know,
Yeah.
you're not sitting in
Tell me
a
how.
seat.
Like,
Ask my
I
kid,
guess
what
in
happened?
class.
He didn't answer that
Yeah,
either,
if I
so
see them out in the
I made
hallway,
his
I'm
phone
like,
go
I
ding
don't
ding
know.
ding.
I'm almost.
Just keep it
Turn it
smaller
on.
and
So,
smaller.
like the ding ding,
It's
so
kind of
like
like my
that,
auditor
it's
unless
easy
you
to
ask
find.
for it.
That's all
Where's the
Well, I have,
Oh.
the same thing that.
I don't know, I'm not on purpose right now.
My first week at the morning.
How have you ever lived
Good,
without?
I'm always in a good mood.
One time I picked up my
Well,
phone.
oh, what's this?
Yeah,
You're
fine.
Or maybe.
Yeah, I am.
So
I brag on that.
Yeah, your photos were.
No, he's awake now.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
What's his name, Brianna?
Jagan?
Jagan. Oh.
3 weeks today.
He looks a lot like his brothers.
He does. Yes.
Oh, yeah. This picture says like,
Yes.
yep.
He looks just like his brothers.
Red hair, but I love it.
Don't miss it, it's okay.
Yeah.
I like other people's babies. I do too.
Yeah.
I like my adult kids, they're fun. I don't know.
Oh, well, they're not quite there yet. Jessica, you did get
How's
that
John
book
doing?
off of my desk, right? Cause then I had this revelation, I was like, or did I move it, cause I was cleaning
No,
stuff.
I slid in, you weren't there, so I was like, nope, just gonna take it. Very good. Very
Okay,
good.
good.
Well, and Starkey also handed me a water bottle from last year that
Oh, that
Holden
was his?
had written his name in pencil on, and I
Did he do?
don't even know where he got the water bottle. I think it was like some freebie thing that we got,
Yeah.
and he needed a water
He just
bottle one day, and he took it. So I don't even remember owning
And
it.
he doesn't
So I didn't
play
miss it.
baseball or anything.
I was like, this could have gone. in the
There's all
basket.
sorts of trinkets they
Thank
leave
you.
behind. So,
And he never takes water because he just doesn't like carrying it around. So I'm like, when did you even do this?
It's the first day of classes, how tripped out can you be?
Well, he said, it wasn't him, he said,
Why no bad?
it's kind of the hardest first class, but it was fine once he got there, that's his feedback.
You're only going over the syllabus.
that's sometimes people sit there like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't for me.
Should do that next
Here.
year. I think Harold's gone.
Oh, he's
How does that
Little pork chops. He's trying to get his
How many hours?
Then we walked 5 miles, yeah.
Last year and this year they've had.
Yeah. I have a lot of.
You guys tell me,
One
I got
sister
lots
was
of
training,
stuff.
I didn't know this Saturday. Cause last year the
No, there's not.
Thank goodness. I mean, she.
what she's looking at, then just
Row basketball tournament.
So,
Because she
And
was
then-
then we
all
have Nathan, he's a paralegal.
All day on.
And then like with Callie, I think there's a different.
If you have everything done, you're fine.
What have I missed so
Yeah,
far?
it's you can work.
Yes.
Well,
No, it's
or
just-
Like I thought I was
What's
gonna.
If you
That's it?
completed that, there's no work.
Oh,
super
okay.
good,
Good.
like I say.
So it was a trade that happened for a workday, so workday became virtual PD, and so.
Some people need to sort of videos.
So we're doing virtually extended.
That's a lot for me. Right, hers originally was October and now they've right?
Well, I think it was broken up by, so I think. But that way.
Do you have stuff on Monday or
My boys are
That's
very
what I was
good.
wondering.
I had her, I was playing, and they'll like sit up in the counter and watch her with me.
How do they do this scenario?
When they're like,
He's got an apartment on the west side of Wichita.
Oh, you're on the left side with, yeah.
He works at
surprised
Spirit.
Yeah, they're required to do more.
So what you do?
Taylor.
There's a couple of them.
She's really good.
Who's a tool?
He's a tool. What line does he put on?
And he can't use it. I don't.
Now,
Is he in
I don't know
commercial or
the,
defense?
I don't know the answer to that commercial. I do know that.
if you're.
Okay, are you related to
They just make you.
Dusty, Hatfield, and Belle Plain?
Probably not.
Yeah.
John's been asking.
I mean, and if you fail it, then yeah, then you have to go back and watch the video. If you don't get it right.
If you go to the, if you go to
test the
the
first time you take
Belle
it,
Plaine
just
Cemetery,
go back and watch the
it
videos.
is
It's just a thought.
Hatfield Central. And I have, it's
I appreciate your.
quite the opposite.
Well, Heather's answering my email.
The McCoys are there too.
We'll send her her, yeah, or Jim. Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Dusty asked John questions about.
Middle school can pilot it.
That's exactly right.
And John
That we only have to take the, we only have to take the test and not watch the
Does, and
videos.
he's like, he can't
Oh,
be.
okay, cool. We're
The questions
piloting.
he asked, he can't be Adam or
The first time
anything.
you don't have a middle school coach.
Yeah. I'm already done.
Yes. Oh, I've already done
I
that.
haven't.
Me and the people.
I did one.
You watched it?
I did bloodborne pathogens, because I couldn't back in my.
My oldest,
Boom, I'm
And
in.
that one I could.
It takes so long.
is very, very.
You can't. I always start with August. I did too. So then when you get to those suicides, it's like, oh, it's done. There's 12.
So that's where my dad's old side.
Well, and I think that's one.
And that's where he went to high school.
Well, okay, and you grew up in Kansas City, right? Partially?
Yeah,
And then came
but I
back to
finished,
Derby?
I finished high school in
Derby, that's what I thought.
I mean, I would be.
But yeah, most of my
So that's what brought you back down here, was your dad?
Well, that one.
Let me take a couple of that one.
So my family moved
I
to
got
between my
sexual
parents,
work
so I
out.
was in flat.
Go to the kids.
Jeff, you get scared today?
I mean, it was like, it was coming smaller, right?
So my mother, my mother's from Kansas City, she grew up in West China, which is where my life is. But they met in Emporia.
Because, they saw me coming, and
And
so,
then
Class.
Dad actually
I mean,
went
he
to
definitely started with me,
seminary.
but I
Really?
reached out to touch her.
What happened?
So then I was in Kansas
Saw me
City.
flying to the.
Say, it had to have been Bob and off.
He's,
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, we never did
Or
recording.
replace.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, so,
He came wild.
but if he would've waited,
He would've got it.
he might have, I don't know.
dual citizenship?
I'm sorry.
But my
Why
first-
would you have dual citizenship?
I was born in
No, it would not. That's
He's
right.
fine.
So much.
My dad was in
That's
the
your
war.
yeah, you can't control
I'm
that.
my birth certificate,
That's
I'm sure you
certificate
certificate
of
blank,
birth
I
and
guess
birth.
that's what I am.
That's good.
My dad was in the army and stuff. So I was born in
I'm
Berlin,
laughing because they give me a.
West Berlin at the
They
time.
tried.
I was gonna say that would be, and that's a crazy coincidence that time.
But he, my sister's kids, they're kind of biased for dual citizenship, and I love, all right, let's hear it first.
They were born in Germany?
And her ex-husband, my mom was born in Germany, and she did have her, you know.
Maybe I
And
can
they're
remember
like,
that.
he's so excited.
I was 7 months when we came back. I don't remember it very
Don't
well.
remember very much.
Then they start to be like,
Yeah.
oh.
My sister was in one,
So then, like, right now it's just
and they
kind of
still
like,
had
excitement,
in the,
okay, then it goes down from there.
like
You
in
can counter
the,
with,
the rocks,
sticky.
you- like they tried to hide it, but you could still see they also.
We were,
Perfect. And now there's I'll share that with him
and
tomorrow.
they were talking about how the Lutheran were
You
covering.
need more of that.
All right.
I'm here all weekend.
And like they only did services
About
in the
really
Lutheran
now
church
every
in
hour
Germany.
that are
It's up until like 48,
And
but
this lady goes, Yeah.
It's what's been.
Well,
I
it's
have a
been
right
Nazi
to
Hitler thing
It's
happened.
hard to read.
And
It's
that's
from
the
time you started.
John and I both started getting
What did the bag
because she
call
was
you back, you know?
Finish one.
They're funny because it's not. And
Oh my God.
the year before, he did jokes, stood up.
Uh-huh.
You know, what do you need from math class? Like, that's so boring.
Times it
That was what he ended with, and all the kids were like,
So
these old.
couldn't
do it. I like talking about what you do over the weekend.
I love that they just get up there and talk, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I do too.
During caucuses.
That took some.
That's tough, that is tough.
But yeah, last year he got up and read Spanish one is so fun. So just
Well,
like
no,
look
I
at the
remember
pictures.
your history.
We were so excited.
It's good, yes.
Not.
It's a picture, but it's
Look
a
at that.
pictures, like, so it's. At the start of this.
Well, you're related to one guy.
One guy from
Right.
Spain is very related.
Obviously, it's limited, you know, it's.
Yeah.
Hello, what's your name? How are you?
He's 7 years
He's
old.
fine, right?
Yeah. But like, that's still.
Yeah.
Seventh grade?
He's 7 years older, and Callie's 5 years older.
The moment that.
So we had a little space there where he came along.
I discussed it with him on Sunday.
What grade do you have in Spanish when it's all ninth grade?
It's more like.
My mom was 12 years from this sister.
Do it kind of Spanish freshman, I'm giving it. I'm trying to figure out where I get like a.
No, they understood. Oh, that.
So Travis, he says, should have brought some.
That's yummy dinner tonight. Was yours cheddar brats?
Cheddar brats, probably.
Ours,
We're
ours
doing hot dogs tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have cheddar bacon brats. Oh, you gotta want to see every time.
Fancy, yeah.
But that's not today.
Hanger.
Right, like, you're more academic.
You said
Spaghetti's
crock
always
pot
good.
or anything?
No.
You still gotta make it?
No, I did it. We did it. You're gonna get like a 2% cut class, you know.
I'm tired of it.
It's like tacos, get tired, dude, like I mean, our niece is dealing with mom and still living.
Oh, spaghetti, she didn't go to
Spaghetti noodles
They're pretty dangerous.
And like
Which 17 seconds.
diced tomatoes here,
Knock out.
rotel.
Other Friday comes, we could
Like there's one.
Take a train from the city and see it.
That's insane.
But
That is insane.
we did
I
it.
know, it's like,
I see it's a lot of
zero.
I know.
It's downtown, so it's like you come in.
Oh, you have a chance later. What's your weather like?
I know, the perfect, the first, yesterday, we were supposed to do.
Well, the first day of class,
Yeah.
We did.
Mingling chicken.
I told you, I think you
Saturday, that's chicken. I mean, when the sun is down, it's about, by the time you're right here, you're doing fireworks.
Wasn't it's not always going to be. Oh, I sit next to the tree.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple videos on it, but I haven't been looking for another one. What if it's free? I don't wanna get
I've
too
been to-
excited.
I've been to-
So
it's like- Many things that are in my
What?
brain.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
and then like.
You guys don't listen for someone or you the kids said, where is this? We found it right now.
Looks like a year.
And those happen in content like that. When you
Yeah,
I will say I was really.
Would bring two back, one for him, bring two back, one for him, one for the killer, so.
Was in Normandy? So was my grandpa.
So
That's interesting.
Try it.
I'm actually very interested.
Yep, he came home today.
I did an interview for a sped job.
Apples with some brown sugar and
sugar
cookies on it.
So that's, so my hometown, our little festival, we celebrate, I think we have teachers come. So it's this year, they did,
It's probably nice that
thing before the exams and stuff, and so my family went, and we realized that we only know from grandpa.
I'm so thankful that you made
We
this.
know nothing.
I had just thought about asking her that.
And so when they're asking these questions, we're looking
Got
at
her
each
on the
other.
phone, called and asked if she could help with it, and I was like, we're on the same way too.
It was embarrassing.
Right there, that
She didn't invite us.
the war just finished.
That'll be a little
I think she's trying to beat her.
She's like, I said,
I was oatmeal, but mom's oatmeal.
Bye.
What do you
Bye.
She and Chris.
Well, it has, yeah.
And they worked out fine.
She was put her name on my for around several weeks.
So
I
how long was it?
like it.
I think the week of the 14th. Oh, my come back.
Here you go. Find it.
September or October?
And I just made like an oatmeal
Or
and then I would put frozen fruit and then hot
Yeah,
drinks.
this is
Yeah.
pretty dry, right? So when you go from 2 to 3, that's like,
I like
that's
it.
a.
There's some older trying to start dating. I don't know, everybody said that like 3 feels like 10. I can't imagine this was like 2, but I haven't felt that yet,
My
but.
dad.
What anything else is.
Are you gonna bring it?
Well, she's been
So I can
threatening
like
to
teach
bring
out
it to
to
the
like.
class, because they're only like six.
Well, I'm actually.
Yeah.
And then when it was finished, we were eligible to bid for another one.
My,
Hey, we're just gonna have like a food party, we're gonna produce this, we're gonna have multi meal and.
Gas and
Maverick
LG
brings
built
us
it.
This is
boy growing like
Did all that.
Mary,
um,
I went to close other stuff, January.
What year was that, Bill?
teenager.
56.
Yeah.
Right,
Six,
right.
and they had it open.
Yeah.
And I'm glad John.
She was gonna help Carla.
We have you fly set up, right?
And Carla was kinda.
Yeah, you know, there's that railroad overpass north of
Are they
there.
both Sandra?
South Haven Interchange
Was
was
in
one.
Gidron.
It's still there.
And,
There's a railroad.
ACP,
They were building that, and they were around.
so it's half day
I know.
or half, or
Shouldn't you go?
half day under, half day first and second, half day.
Really went, wait, what's that?
Said we come up to the side of the bank.
Like there are a lot of chunks that way.
Just as soon as the road opened, hit it hard, make a right turn, go down the face of the pile. And
So
so you turn,
Oh, that was last
run back up 3 miles, get another one. And he said it was 9 of us,
So.
and he said there was one kid had a 69 caterpillar in that.
Right.
It's coming up over the side.
Our teachers do too.
Well, it's a caterpillar, so it'll go over center before.
So,
Well,
So will they
why
have
not?
to take a day?
The big boss
what
comes
I'm
down with a
anticipating
brand
is
Cadillac
that
from
all of the sped staff
Kansas.
I don't expect
Pulls up on the
just
bill,
the
stops and
interventionists will
gets
take
out.
the 25th
that number.
and take a session and go to
From what he's telling
the primary session.
Caterpillar. This one, he
The
clipped
day
it hard.
on the intermediate session.
Kansas.
That was
Yeah,
all.
we're gonna get to that.
Like, okay,
Well, luckily nobody was there.
It was finished.
Yeah.
Because there's just some people who didn't know.
Standing there looking at it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
His,
Okay,
And
Heather.
then another job.
Yeah, exactly.
and walked over
Saw
there to
you
the
now.
bar. Get me done. Somebody, damn stupid, that they had last year, overnight.
What about letters?
You should get another dose.
It's probably a lot
Get the doctor and get one.
Every morning it was. Yeah, I've been checking. I
Have a
just,
sense of
I asked
humor
her,
about it as
she
well.
hasn't done seating arrangements yet.
Also had enough money to.
Yeah, probably not a big
Yeah.
deal,
Yeah.
probably not a big deal.
It opened early
She said,
2018.
Yep, she said she was
So maybe
looking at
it's-
not
So
one of
this
those.
one where we went up 31 students and not
So
down
now-
big number that we've been going in, that was
But I
one.
think she's gonna split.
That's
So I
big.
said, that's what it is. They just, I think it's her minute, yeah, she said.
So,
She's
It
different.
actually opened here, it opened early 2018.
Cause I think that's.
Get a few more
That's where you see the real.
Duke salad. Kennedy was in college, right yet? Someone said there was a little bump up.
Yeah, kindergarten definitely is.
Good.
Yeah, Lincoln's really well.
Yeah.
So, well, numbers are rolling out, it always changes. So,
like on all
But,
the stuff.
but I'd heard Kennedy,
As far as like.
kindergarten. Well,
But I haven't seen it yet, so that's all good.
this was played out time and time again, but
Restructured.
dynamic.
Like I used to have a Wednesday morning meeting.
Yeah, but it's
Mark came down here.
I just feel
Like,
it.
like just a list. And I appreciate that. And now they lit, should be
The people built all the good houses.
But I'm like, I really just want the list.
Yeah.
So family.
And so,
When they
Stick
grew
to
up,
the
and then
So I'm taking like,
got to be the
so Susan, Amanda, and
the
Louise
old
and I
folks
are
in,
meeting
and then they started
in the morning where
the
we're
outside.
and then we put on that
Younger
together, so
families
I
got
was
to
like,
get better.
okay.
You know, it's just kids.
Yeah, the
So,
problem is,
like,
the
we
problem
met with the
I think
officials
I'll
that
say
came
two.
here to do the first day of training with them on Wednesday, and I was
You know,
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah,
I
So
feel
that
like
was
she's kind of doing a
except for just a
concert
few.
too. Maybe she's
And
just.
most of those are in,
Whatever.
City.
still do your reading stuff, but maybe do it like sometimes, and
I
then do
just
the rest of it
sent
like you
you a news story about that. I just texted you.
I need to know.
A news story
Oh.
about nationwide enrollment numbers.
Secondary, like, I know elementary, so like I need to know.
And a big part of it,
how
we did talk
things
about
work,
just
and
the
that way I
birth
can like
rates.
ask people.
Hey, I'm not gonna have any more. I'm out.
I just had a Google ask about letters and I'm like, we'll let you know.
I got my first email today, from somebody, but I'm just like, I don't know,
Yeah, we had to give her
like,
That's what,
Or she was.
Sam said.
like, we just need to, I mean, when we need to probably use this, Amanda and I sit down and go, how do we want to access? Do we want to
my
catch
first
it
data point
where we
is
can
2010,
Mm-hmm.
so
any day?
15 years.
First day, just to get you guys caught up and then do a whole day.
Wow.
Or, cause it's like.
That's so weird.
Well, we've been, I tell them too.
We've,
That's what I'm saying, but like if you
15 years, we've
if
got
we just catch up today,
200.
just to see everybody kind of
Yeah.
on the right
Millions.
track
It
and
was
then
nice that the.
here,
Well,
the-
with the kids like in
so like
band.
we can use this.
Quite good.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw Brett one,
Those are
yeah, Audrey was with Brett one.
The ones in the spring, I have
Hi.
all kinds of limited things. I have, but the actual ones for this.
I think that's mine, yeah, extra.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've asked Bill Mason to join us, just at the table. So I guess, obviously, our goal is to wrap this up. We don't enjoy this. This is not a fun process. None of us get paid for this. We give a lot of our time and, effort to it. So we by no means want to drag this on any longer than it needs to be. But we are a little frustrated because it's hard for us to come up with a good proposal for you when we don't have the same information or accurate numbers that I'm using to come up and we're using to come up with these proposals. as when it pertains to salaries. So for starters, can you tell me, and if you can't right now, that's fine, but if you could get me the information, how many people are in the bargaining unit?
Do you want vacancies too?
Yeah, I guess, because that plays a part into factoring, what the total cost is. And I know you mentioned, that you're holding the spaces for the SLPs.
Mhm.
And currently, we're using a virtual service, correct?
Mhm.
How are those paid for? How do we pay for the virtual service?
We just signed it, they receive the CAT aid for the service plus,
So it's $65 an hour, for the SLP services, plus the, Greenbushes who we're contracting with, they keep the categorical aid for, the FTE positions.
Okay, but that's not a salary. We're not using salary money for that. Or what, I guess,
Where's that money?
where's that money coming from?
Well,
What
The
part of the
majority
budget?
is special, the special
this comes
education.
from SPED.
But as you know, I think people know, we don't get enough money to cover all the sped services, so then it's also transfers from general to cover that.
Okay, so this might be a dumb question. So we're holding a spot and then we're also paying out of the same pot of money?
That part I.
We
that's
hold
not me.
the spot because we're looking at future is why we're holding that spot.
Okay.
Because I can't, that spot that it's holding right now may not even cover what the CAT aid and the $65 an hour is. So it may be one way or the other, but we hold that because we're looking at, how do I say it, we're proving ourselves for
Next year, hopefully, having that, we have to hold that position, hold the money as if we have it, so that we're not having a shortfall next year when we actually have the position.
Sure. I understand that. I'm just trying to understand, are we taking money, holding that spot, and then we're also using that money for the virtual?
No, when we look at what's incoming, I'm not talking about what's gonna cost it, no.
Okay.
I'm not taking this 400,000 and taking what the CAT aid's gonna cost and all that from SLP, plus then taking a salary, no, I'm not.
How many positions do we have? We're holding 7 now,
I think so, there's actually 4 in that category and then there's 7
and then we're holding them at mid-range, so at what?
mid-range.
Is that why that cell was red?
Yes, that's where we're holding them, because sometimes they will end up a seasoned teacher, sometimes will end up here, so we just hold in the middle.
Which is how much?
I wonder.
I wanna say off the top of my head that I don't
40
know.
something.
What?
I thought 40 something, but I can't remember. I'm gonna say it's 48,000. Do you have that scale where that one is? The red.
Master's 15, the I, so I.
50. Yeah,
And right now it's
55, 364.
Oh, it's 55.
I guess another question or information that would be helpful to us is if you can give us a number for the cost savings from last year's salary schedule to this year's salary schedule, meaning those people who left that were replaced with somebody who is on a lower step. If we could get a number of where we're at as far as savings that you've had. And then if you could give us a total number of what it is costing to fund movement.
Oh, you're talking about if you did 0? If we just did steps and columns, no increase on scale? 193,391.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, no, that's with our others. That's with your. Classified in there. $487,553.
487.
553.
That's just steps and columns.
That is just steps and columns and supplementals. Yeah.
Explain it for a minute, help me out with that.
Because they get the same increase on the supplemental.
Percentage.
Yes.
Right.
And that includes horizontal movements too.
And that number's gotta be based on specific people in specific places on a schedule. So there should be a overall bargaining unit number that you're working with. But you're not sure what that is off the top of your head, how many people that is?
I have to look on my computer crunch. That's without any of your subs and any of your empty spots still. I wanna say it's 140 some, but I will have to look on there.
That would maybe make sense because the information that I was given when requested, I only had 120. And so if there's 140, that's 20 more people that I didn't have accounted for.
I'll have to look and see
So
what Stephanie
we could-
provided you. Because then she also has the horizontal movement on there, and then we didn't know at the time what, if this person is a sub, is this person on scale, we didn't know any of that too, so I'll have to see what. Cause it updated even last Tuesday, I was getting new, hey, this person's here.
So when you're getting those updates, I'm not being notified about that, so.
Okay.
It's hard again to come up with a proposal and to know where we're all at, cause we're looking at different numbers and I'm not getting all the information in order to come with,
Okay.
a proposal that's gonna be.
Yeah, before we meet, every time I just double check where everybody is on scale and make sure that my spreadsheet is correct, so I can send you that.
I mean, it just, I don't know when people are turning in things to you, I don't know when people are hired. So just some kind of way for me to keep track of that or for our team to look at that would be helpful. One of the things that seems to be coming up every year is, are we going to add money to the base? Are we gonna do a percentage? That seems to be a big hurdle or a big sticking point every year. And I know that you've been talking with the board in executive session about negotiations. So one idea that we'd like for you to consider taking to the board is adding some kind of language that would maybe put a schedule together where 1 year it's a percentage, the next year it's amount to the base. Just trying to get that set in stone or set ahead of time so then we don't have to continue to have this conversation. We're trying to find ways to take this to our bargaining unit and get that ratified, which is one of our goals, obviously. So if they already know ahead of time that this is what the schedule is, then that may be more beneficial and helpful with moving the process along. We also have a comparison that we would like to share with you, again, with those districts that we're constantly being compared to, and something we'd like for you to also take to the board. This is showing you the most current information that I had, as far as districts that have settled. The amount there that's highlighted, which maybe didn't print off highlighted, is with the 4% increase. We looked at the base for all of those. I looked at their highest MS step, because that's one that we have quite a few people on, and their highest step overall. Looking at those numbers and where we're at, again, some of that information I wasn't able to locate because they were still bargaining. We're gonna be at the lowest possible when you're comparing us to those other 8 districts, even with that 4% increase. So that's, where we're frustrated.
And we understand also, and I think we don't get this. That's something that we've actually discussed. You guys are lucky enough to get that from the union, and schools just aren't sharing it with us, so this is helpful. I would also like to look at their enrollment trends. So that'll be something that we kind of dive into. We're on a 2-year look back, and so our numbers this year are gonna show a 62 student decrease. That's like $300,000. And those are things that we have to take into account.
And you did fill positions that were vacant, that maybe could have not been filled. So that also is, a decision that was made that affects this. So I think where we're at right now is that once we get some more information to help us kind of get a better idea of where we're at, if we get some of that information back, we can come back with another proposal, or we can see where we need to go from there.
There was one more question I wanted to, because I think we were confused. You mentioned a number earlier that was like a 300-some thousand and then another 4. And I didn't know if those two numbers needed to be added together or not. The question I guess I had for you is this: the package, your $1,000 proposal, how much more is that going to cost you than your salary schedule cost you last year? How many more thousands of dollars is your $1,000 proposal with steps? New money, additional.
So what we do is we take what last year's salary is, and then we put in I'm thinking 7 million is something, what I was thinking off the top of my head, off of your scale, right? And then I'm taking where they are now, and I take last year, what we spent on salaries, and subtract it, and that's where I'm getting your difference of how much more it would cost.
And how much more are you saying it would cost total?
With supplementals. $639,000 additional funds.
So really, if we took the $487,000 that you say,
$433,662.
if you that number subtracted from the 639, that extra money would be the $1,000 per cell, essentially.
Well, there's also other salaries that is coming out of those funds.
I'm sorry.
So out of the $433,662, I also have possible administration and classified salaries increases.
That's just
So we're not talking those. So the 639 is just the increase in steps and columns plus $1,000 per professional employee, correct?
Yep, those two numbers.
And so just in those employee raises, we're already over, what is that? $206,000 over our new money. So those are things that we'll be finding through other methods, such as reduced positions.
Adjusting at-risk funds.
We have also the share of annual, what is our supplemental going up, not supplemental, I'm sorry, classified, about 50 cents?
Depending on the position
An increase.
and the base.
So 50 cents on classified.
It depends on what position, some of them, same thing, we look at averages and where we should be. I think your pairs went up 50 cents, if I
Pairs went up,
remember.
and then did we do $1 for custodians?
Custodials went
Custodians got
$1.
$1.
Do people typically, like on this, what is that called, steps, do they typically go more than one step? Or is it usually about one? I mean, once they ask for one, it's usually one column, right?
I'm not sure on that, I'd have to ask Stephanie on that.
Okay, well, if you're able to get us that information, that would be helpful to us, and we will come back with something for that. So we'd like to keep this on the table. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but there were a couple of other proposals that have been on the table for a little while that maybe we could address now. I think maybe the first one was the retirement incentive, Article C 28. And I know the only change to the language was you were wanting to add that the employee must complete 10 years of service in order to get that benefit. And the information that Darcy gave to me as to how many employees have received that benefit over the last 3 years, it looks like it was one person 3 years ago who had 41 years of service, 4 people who had 19 years, 26 years, 42 years, and 33 years, and then 3 people who had 26 years, 28 years, and 29 years. So first of all, to me, it doesn't look like it's necessary because everybody's well past that 10 years. But also, if you're getting 14 days of universal leave, you would have to work 8 years and not take a single day off to get to the 100 days. And I would think that that would be not in our best interest to not give those people that benefit if they've been here 8 years and never missed a day of work. So we feel like it's not necessary to change this because there's no data showing that it's an issue, unless I'm missing something.
Well, the 100 days is the max they can receive. It doesn't mean that they didn't have 15 days left and then that's what, they're getting paid. 100 days is the max.
But still, everybody that's getting this benefit has been in the district 20 years, 40 years, 33 years. I mean, to me, that seems like the least that we could do for their service.
We make the change to the next time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll hold that.
And also, if I'm calculating this correctly, 3 years ago, it cost $4,000 for you to pay that out. Is that correct, or I'm sorry? And then,
We didn't get numbers for that. That's
Okay.
the incentive, the sick leave incentive. We didn't have numbers for retiree amount.
this information that you gave me,
Right, the sick leave incentive is in the first 2 columns, the
Mhm.
second 2
Yeah, the
columns is
retirement. yeah, that's what I'm asking. So I just did my own math, which could be off because I teach reading. So, I calculated
So-
4,000
Assuming that that person had the 100,
16,000
had a full
Assuming
100.
they had $100.
and 12,000.
And they could have had less.
Right. So if that's true, then last year, it was $12,000 that we paid to 3 people who've had an average of 20 years of service to our district. That doesn't seem like very much.
Okay. Yeah, we'll table this, we'll table it.
And then, I guess we could talk about the resignation, Article D2. I think the last proposal that, I was sent on July 9th, the only change from the one that was given to us was just increasing the amount due if,
We switched around, where you guys were talking about what the C and D, it was a 5, we moved that stuff around.
Yeah, we moved it to, because it read as if a person couldn't take any time off after putting in notice. We moved it that if it's an early release from the contract, they couldn't give a 2-week notice mid-semester and then ask to take their 14 days. So we just moved that up to clarify that.
so do you know, over the last 2 or 3 years, which I believe all of this language was, added a couple years ago,
Mhm.
our team brought this language, how many people have given mid-year resignations?
Guessing off the top of my head, about 5.
4 or 5.
Okay,
Something like that.
so prior to this language, if somebody gave a mid-year resignation, there wasn't any penalty dollar amount, correct?
Yes, the board could
Yes.
hold contact and try to do licensure stuff with the state if they chose to, but
Okay,
yes, that's
and then
correct.
of those.
This would be in lieu of that.
Right.
Right.
So of those people, how many of them have not paid the amounts that are already in the language? 1 person.
Am I correct on that?
Correct.
So is there a reason why we are wanting to double the amounts? If we can't get the money from one person, is doubling it gonna,
Well, we did
Help us
add the
get that.
language that the money would be withheld from their last paycheck. So we won't have the back and forth that we've had this year.
Multiple collection letters, all of the things that, yeah.
And then we added language with that. Sorry, it's been a while since I've looked over it. That says that then they can go through the appeal process, which we've been through. And if the board reps and the union reps choose to give it back, then they get that money back in a separate check. So that is one of the things we're doing. The doubling was something, looking at some other districts, it just seems, the whole point of having it in there is a deterrent to not leave students mid-year.
and I understand that, that's why we brought this language to this process.
So we just felt like we've had 5, so
And our
maybe
hiring
we need to.
environment.
And
We're gonna put you
put you on the spot, say your words.
What?
No,
that you would pay the fine.
there are districts that
yeah.
are buying it
Sure.
out, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's
Well-
not, sometimes it's not the employee, it's the district that
Yeah,
does
sure.
it. Yeah.
Well, a couple of things are a problem or a concern that we had. One is it would be hard to enforce this if in every case. Here's an example. If somebody got their last check in June, then they decided August 5th they weren't coming back. you have no check to withhold money from. They've already been paid. In addition to that, my understanding is that it's illegal to hold money in the state of Kansas because that's,
We had that discussion, and there is a way,
I have that somewhere.
yes. Because that was brought up, that we needed to check into that.
If you've got a particular statute or a court case or something, we'd sure like a copy of it. There's ample court cases we could provide you too with that demonstrate that liquidated damages cannot be used as punishment. They're supposed to, the money is supposed to help the district because they've been damaged by this late resignation. And unless the district can demonstrate they've been damaged to that kind of a financial level, our lawyers are very confident that you would lose a court case like that. And the districts in the state of Kansas that have recently successfully upped their liquidated damages are simply, we're just waiting for the first test case because we're confident they will lose the case. You can't, it creates a situation where it's like indentured servitude. If someone doesn't want to work for you anymore, you want to punish them so severely financially that you force them to stay. And the argument on one hand is why would anyone want to keep an employee around who that desperately wants to leave, that they might risk that. But the other is that, like she said, there's not been a demonstrable, in this team's mind, a demonstrable set of instances where you've been damaged to such a degree that you would come with such harsh increases to these numbers.
well, I think too, when you're talking about not being able to use their universal days, I've heard Adam say this, that we want to do what's best for students. And if somebody doesn't want to be there that bad, is it what's best for students to force them to come? And also, what's stopping them from just calling in sick? When you sign a contract or an intent to work for this district, you're given those universal days. And I don't know that there's a way that you can really take those away based on them changing their mind to not want to work for you anymore. The other thing that was noticed by our team is that you're not looking to add money to those people who give you early resignation and are giving you ample time to find somebody to replace them. You're not giving them any additional money, but instead you're going to penalize quite a bit more those that are leaving. When we brought this proposal, we took the amount straight from Rose Hill's agreement. And when I went back and looked at Rose Hill, Augusta, Clearwater, Winfield, Renwick, Mulvane, and El Dorado, $5,000 was way more than any of the others. Clearwater doesn't even have, that I could find, this type of language. So I feel like we're pretty much right in that same frame with them as far as other districts go. So we don't feel like it's necessary to change the language at this time.
Can I ask a question to Adam? Of the 5 you mentioned, are you talking about how many of those were resignations before the year was up, and how many were resignations after the mandatory notice date?
All 5 were mid-year that I'm thinking of. They were literally mid-year in the middle. Yep.
And none of those were resignations that you encouraged or sought. Those were just their calls, right?
Correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think we have 1 minute, so should we
Okay.
go ahead and plan?
Yeah.
I would personally like to just keep moving as soon as we can.
Okay.
With next Monday, being a holiday, what does next Tuesday look like?
Really need that data with
Right.
enough time to work with it.
Right.
Don't wanna put any pressure on her, but we've gotta have that information.
I'm in the middle of an audit, so.
Can I do anything about it?
No. That's fine. We'll get it to him. We'll get it to him. We'll get it there.
If you have what you
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, I wanna continue moving this on, but I think coming off of a 4-day weekend, that might be
No, that makes
a
sense.
quick turnaround to start right there on Tuesday. But I would be available on Thursday the 4th.
Thursday is golf for my kid and I missed 2 golf tournaments last year, so I'm sorry if
They've already they start on the 4th,
I have a.
JV starts on the
commitment
4th.
okay.
How about the 8th?
Yep.
We have a BOE meeting, but that might be good.
Just look there.
Monday
We would have to do it earlier than 4 because the meeting would start at 6. So if we go 4 to 6, it would be like literally, you're gonna have people coming in,
I don't know
so.
what time everybody can get here. I could get here by 3:30.
Look at it. It'll make us-
So that would give us 30 minutes to change
Will
the
you
room.
approve us to
Is
leave the
that-
building earlier to get, get here?
We can figure it out. I can figure it out with principals if I need to.
3:30 on the 8th.
Okay, 3:30.
Oh, wait, do you have an audit?
I do. I have a sped audit, it's okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
On the 8th, we
I
can,
keep doing it when she has audits.
We can
She
leave
said
it.
it's okay, we gotta get it done. We gotta get it done, let's.
okay,
Okay, so our date is?
They,
they,
I'm putting it.
3:30?
That's 8 AM and nobody wants to do that.
I'm
Okay,
open then.
I'm writing it down.
I'm not sleeping, so.
Be too loud in hers, so
I'm putting it down.
There he's gonna.
just let me know.
Just kidding, he'll be fine.
and then you're going to share these this out. You're gonna
What's that?
share the notes out. Okay.
Let me look at it.
Did they have
Okay, thank you.
Oh, mom and dad.
That's much.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice job.